based on real events. 1839. Chapter 1. The Haunted Journey. In the state of Massachusetts, nestled amidst picturesque landscapes and quaint towns, our class of teenagers from Meadowbrook High School embarked on a fateful bus trip. Our destination was the neighboring state of Vermont, known for its stunning natural beauty and idyllic charm. Little did we know that the course of our lives would be altered forever, far from the safety and familiarity of our homes. Chapter 2. The Broken Down Bus. Our laughter abruptly ceased when the bus suddenly sputtered and coughed, coming to a halt near a desolate roadside inn. It seemed the gods of fate had conspired against us, stranding us in this ominous place. The inn loomed ahead, its ancient facade hidden beneath layers of creeping ivy, a foreboding presence in the fading light. As we cautiously explored the area surrounding the inn, we caught glimpses of figures lurking in the shadows. They seemed to materialize and vanish like phantoms. Their presence felt oppressive, as if we were being watched from unseen eyes. Whispers rustled through the overgrown foliage, sending shivers down our spines. Were these spirits of the departed, guardians of the terrible secret that lay dormant within the inn's walls? It was in that moment, surrounded by the decaying beauty of the inn and the haunting presence of those we couldn't explain, that the gravity of our situation sank in. The laughter that had once filled the air was replaced by hushed voices, filled with trepidation and uncertainty. We were trapped, ensnared in a web of darkness, and the only solace we could find was in each other's company, knowing that the long night ahead would test the limits of our courage and resilience. Chapter 3. The Legend of Vengeance. Whispers spread among us about the inn's dark history. According to local legends, a vengeful spirit haunted its walls. A woman who had met a tragic end at the hands of a group of heartless teenagers. They had stolen her life, and now she sought retribution, forever bound to the cursed grounds. Goosebumps prickled my skin as we neared the lake, its still waters reflecting the moon's pale glow. Chapter 4. The Sinister Encounter. It was on that fateful first night that the veil between our world and the supernatural grew thin. As we settled into our creaking beds, I glimpsed her, a spectral figure shrouded in darkness. She stood, a spectral figure shrouded in darkness, her form an ethereal mix of horror and sorrow. Her appearance was hauntingly unforgettable. Her long, unkempt hair cascaded around her like a midnight waterfall, tangles of black strands blending with the shadows that clung to her. The moonlight gleamed upon her pallid skin, highlighting the lines of anguish etched deeply into her face. Her eyes, empty and hollow, burned with an otherworldly rage, reflecting a lifetime of torment and betrayal. As our trembling gaze shifted downward, we noticed her hands. A chilling sight that filled our hearts with dread. Her delicate fingers, once graceful and gentle, were now gnarled and bony, like twisted branches reaching out from a decaying tree. Each finger seemed to possess a life of its own, curling and twitching in a macabre dance of desperation. With trembling hands, I awakened my friends, desperate for their belief. But their laughter pierced my heart like 1,000 icy daggers. Chapter 5. Alone in the Woods. With doubt cast upon my sanity, I resolved to prove the truth, even if it meant venturing into the heart of darkness alone. Under the cloak of night, I fled into the sinister woods, my heart pounding in my chest like a war drum. Twisted branches reached out like skeletal fingers, snatching at my clothes, and the chilling wind whispered secrets of impending doom. But fear propelled me forward, my survival instinct overpowering the grip of terror. Chapter 6. Unveiling the Shadows. In the heart of the foreboding woods, I stumbled upon the ancient, dilapidated cabin that had become the abode of the vengeful woman. Its weathered exterior exuded a sense of desolation and decay, the cracked windows serving as portals to a world fraught with darkness. Moonlight filtered through one of the windows, casting a pale glow that illuminated the eerie interior. With trepidation gripping my heart, I pushed open the door, its rusty hinges groaning in protest. The room within revealed a scene frozen in time. The walls, adorned with peeling wallpaper, seemed to whisper tales of despair. The floor creaked beneath my feet, its worn wood bearing the weight of countless secrets. In a mystifying twist, the woman's ethereal essence fused with my being, our souls intertwining in an inexplicable fusion. With her presence within me, I exited the cabin, returning to my unsuspecting friends who gathered outside. They greeted me with smiles and relief, unaware of the sinister transformation that had taken place. The vengeful woman's spirit resided within me, hidden beneath the facade of my familiar teenage guise. The truth of what had transpired lingered beneath the surface, waiting to be revealed. Would my friends uncover the haunting secret residing within me? Or would the woman's spirit, now bound to my existence, continue her quest for vengeance, forever hidden in plain sight? This story happened on September 19th in one of the districts of California. It was a home robbery that will be remembered for a long time by all Californians. Ben Wilson, a tall man in his mid-30s, is walking home after a date with his girlfriend Anna. Bright daylight gently illuminates his face, showing a relaxed demeanor. Back then, he had no idea what a test life had in store for him. As he approaches his home, a modest two-story structure with a well-manicured lawn, something feels amiss. His earlier ease is replaced with apprehension. The front door is slightly ajar, its lock tampered with. The shadows inside seem to be darker, deeper, hinting at a presence. Hesitating only momentarily, curiosity and concern drive him forward. Pushing the door gently, he peers inside. A broken vase, scattered cushions, and open drawers greet him. A realization dawns, he's not alone. Ben's eyes dart to his phone, and with trembling hands, he dials 911. He retreats a few steps, seeking refuge behind a nearby tree, the weight of the situation settling in.
Good morning. What's your emergency?
Hi, my name's Ben Wilson. I just got home and found my front door slightly open. I think someone might be inside my house.
Okay, Ben, I need you to stay calm. Are you safe right now? Are you outside the house?
Yes, I'm standing outside, a little ways down the street.
Good, stay there and do not approach the house. We're dispatching officers to your location immediately. Can you give me your address?
It's 142 Elm Street.
Officers are on their way, Ben. While we wait, can you tell if you've noticed anything or anyone unusual around the property?
I haven't seen anyone come out, but there's a light on in my bedroom upstairs. I didn't leave it on.
Understandable. It's essential you stay where you are. Officers will be there shortly to assess the situation. Stay on the line with me until they arrive. We're here to help.
Okay, thank you. I'll wait right here.
In broad daylight, the group of robbers had to act more strategically and quickly. They parked their nondescript car a short distance away and quickly entered the house through the backyard fence. This footage was captured by a surveillance camera. Thanks to this footage, the police were able to find the car and its owner. Upon entering the house, they quickly split up and began to inspect the property. Their actions were synchronized, indicating pre-planning and possibly prior knowledge of the layout of Ben's home. In the living room, one of the burglars, wearing gloves, targeted the electronics. A high-end sound system, a recently purchased smart TV, and a modern game console with games were their primary targets. Throughout the robbery, one member stood as a lookout, peering occasionally through a slit in the curtains, ensuring they remained undetected. The robbers communicated in whispers or subtle hand gestures, emphasizing the need for silence and speed. The distant wail of sirens grows steadily louder until flashing red and blue lights pierce the night. Police vehicles converge on Ben's house, officers quickly forming a perimeter. Their every move speaks of urgency and precision. With no immediate way in and fearing the potential danger of lurking inside, an officer begins to forcefully break down the front door. Each blow reverberates, echoing Ben's rapidly beating heart. But as the front door finally yields, a rustling emerges from the backyard. The intruders, sensing their window of escape narrowing, make a desperate dash, disappearing into the maze of neighboring yards. The robbers, in their audacity, have begun targeting parked cars on the street. Surveillance video from a neighboring house confirms this. The robbers began to loot the cars of their neighbors in search of escape, looking for any way to find transportation and escape from justice. The video clearly shows that these people are professional car thieves. But the sounds of the alarm scare them and they run away. Police officers, aided by the sharp-eyed neighborhood watch, corner them. The final scene unfolds as the culprits are detained, handcuffed, and searched. Among their possessions, a chilling discovery is made: weapons, hinting at potentially darker intentions had the night not turned in Ben's favor. The night's drama ends with Ben, surrounded by his neighbors and police officers, his home's lights bright against the dark, a symbol of resilience and community. Three friends who went for a walk in the woods met something that changed their lives forever. Until that day, they had not believed in the existence of anything beyond, but the next night made them believe. On a chilly autumn evening, three friends, Liam, Maya, and Alex, embarked on a hike through the dense Whitmore Woods, a forested region notorious for its labyrinthine trails. However, as daylight began to fade, it became clear that they had strayed far from the marked paths. The trio trudged on, hoping to find a clearing or campsite. Just as desperation began to set in, they stumbled upon an old house, nestled deep within the trees. It looked like it had been abandoned for decades, windows boarded up, roof partially caved in, and nature trying to reclaim its foundations. Despite its derelict state, it offered shelter from the creeping cold and the impending darkness. Inside, the house was eerily preserved. Dusty furniture sat untouched, and old black and white family photos adorned the walls, their subjects' faces faded with time. The air was thick with a musty scent, and every footstep echoed through the house. They decided to camp in the living room, setting up their sleeping bags and lighting a few candles they had brought along. As the clock's hands neared midnight, the old house seemed to come alive with a symphony of its own. The gentle whispers of the wind outside were accompanied by the house's creaking timbers and rustling curtains. But beneath these familiar nocturnal sounds, a distinct and unsettling rhythm emerged. It began as a faint, almost imperceptible, tapping, reminiscent of a metronome or a muffled drum. As minutes ticked by, the sound evolved into a soft thudding, eerily mirroring the cadence of a human heart echoing from the depths below. The three friends exchanged wary glances, the initial comfort of their camaraderie now tainted with unease. Alex's fingers nervously tapped against his water bottle, mirroring the rhythm from below. Liam, eyes wide, tried to dismiss it as just another quirk of the old house, but the pattern was too consistent, too deliberate. Maya, her adventurous spirit unperturbed, felt a mix of curiosity and challenge. She'd always been the one to chase after the unknown, and this was no different. Locking eyes with Liam and Alex, she silently conveyed her intent to explore the source of the sound. Lighting a candle she had packed, its small flame casting dancing shadows on the peeling wallpaper, she approached the basement door. Its wood was cold to the touch, and as she slowly turned the knob, the thudding grew louder, more insistent. Liam wanted to voice his objections, his instinct screaming that they should leave this place and its mysteries behind. Alex, on the other hand, tried to put on a brave face, giving Maya an encouraging nod even as his stomach churned with anxiety. As Maya began her descent, each step echoing in a narrow stairwell, Liam and Alex strained their eyes to keep her in view. But the deeper she went, the more the dim glow of her candle receded, swallowed by the thick, oppressive darkness of the basement. Minutes felt like hours, and Maya's prolonged absence began to worry them. Alex decided to go after her, leaving Liam alone, anxiously waiting. But soon, even Alex's footsteps faded, and an oppressive silence filled the house. Liam, now truly alarmed, began searching the main floor for any clues. He stumbled upon a room that seemed to be an old study. The walls were covered in fading red pentagrams and strange symbols that seemed to be drawn in some dark, dried liquid. But what truly chilled him to the bone were the sketches, detailed drawings of people, their eyes exuding fear. As Liam's torchlight wandered, he found more recent drawings, eerily resembling Maya and Alex. Their sketched eyes seemed to plead for help. Frantic, Liam mustered the courage to go down to the basement. The thudding grew louder, more insistent. There, in the dimness, he found Maya and Alex, lying unconscious on the floor, their faces pale. Above them, two fresh drawings adorned the wall, their likenesses captured in chilling detail. With adrenaline pumping, Liam managed to rouse his friends, and the trio made a desperate dash out of the house. As they ran through the woods, the thudding sound followed them, growing fainter as they distanced themselves from the accursed house. By dawn, they reached the outskirts of the forest. The haunting events of the night left them traumatized, and they vowed never to venture into Whitmore Woods again. But the most chilling part was yet to come. A week later, Liam received an old, tattered envelope with no return address. Inside was a detailed sketch, his face, eyes wide with fear, now a part of the house's eerie gallery.